All right. Ancient India, Chapter 4, Lesson 3, the beginning of Buddhism. Here's a picture here. It says countless different paintings and sculptures of the Buddha Siddhartha Gautama exist all over the world. The golden statue shown here is from India, which shows a younger Buddha. According to Buddhist tradition, a young prince once lived a life of luxury in his palace in northern India. Protected by the walls of the palace, he saw none of the unpleasant troubles that touch other people's lives. He was content with his life, for he had everything he wanted. Then, around the age of 30, he took some rides that changed his life and changed the history of Asia. On his rides, he saw things he'd never imagined. He met a bent and tired old man. The prince never realized that people grow old and frail. For the first time, he saw a man that was very sick. His parents obviously didn't want him around sick people when he was younger, apparently. And then finally, he saw death when he saw a body being carried to a funeral. He didn't realize death was where he was going. This suffering troubled the young man greatly. He wanted to know why there was so much suffering and pain in the world. He decided to change his life to find the answer. He gave up his wealth, his family, and his life of ease in order to find the cause of human suffering. The young man was named Siddhartha Gautama. What he discovered after several years of wandering led him to found a major world religion called Buddhism. The teachings of Buddhism. As Gautama traveled in the 500s BCE, he sought answers to the meaning of life. At first, Gautama studied with Hindu philosophers, but their ideas didn't satisfy him. He couldn't accept the Hindu belief that only Brahmins could pass on knowledge. Gautama decided to stop looking outwardly for the cause of suffering, and instead he tried to find understanding within his own mind. He did this by meditating. To meditate is to think deeply about secret things. Buddhist tradition says that Gautama fasted and meditated under a fig tree. After 49 days, he found the answers he sought. Now he understood the roots of suffering. For the next 45 years, Gautama traveled across India and shared his knowledge. Over the years, he attracted many followers because he could explain things that troubled people. So his followers called Siddhartha Gautama the Buddha, the enlightened one. His teachings became known as Buddhism. This picture depicts the three jewels of Buddhism: Buddha, the original teacher; Dharma, the teachings or responsibilities; and Sangha, the community. The middle way. Buddhism differed from earlier religions in one important way. Other religions worship many gods or one god, but Buddha taught that the answer to human suffering lay not in worshiping gods, but in right thinking and self denial. Buddha taught that human suffering is caused by selfish desires for power, wealth, and pleasure. The way a person becomes free from suffering is by giving up those selfish desires. The way to do this is to follow the middle way. The middle way avoids extremes, too much pleasure or too much worry about life. Reaching nirvana. To find this middle way, Buddha taught that people must act unselfishly towards others and treat people fairly. They must tell the truth at all times. People should avoid violence and killing any living thing. If people followed Buddha's path, their suffering would end. They would eventually find nirvana, or lasting peace. By reaching nirvana, people would be released from the endless wheel of reincarnation. Followers of Buddhism. Buddhism also taught that people are equal. Anyone, Buddha declared, could follow the path to nirvana, regardless of his or her social class. This idea appealed to many people. Like other religions, Buddhism has priests. Anyone can become a Buddhist priest or a monk. Buddha encouraged his followers to establish monasteries. There they would learn and meditate and teach. He also urged monks to become missionaries, or people who spread their religious beliefs to others. And I've made a little table here for you for the Eightfold Path. Eightfold Path says step 1 is right understanding, having faith in Buddhist views of the universe. Step 2 is right intention, making a commitment to practice Buddhism. Step 3 is right speech, avoiding lies or mean or abusive speech. Step 4 is right action, not taking life or killing, not stealing, not hurting others. Step 5 is right livelihood, rejecting jobs and occupations that conflict with Buddhist ideals. Step 6 is right effort, avoiding bad attitudes and developing good ones. Step 7 is right mindfulness, being aware of the body, feelings, and thoughts. And 8 is right concentration, thinking deeply to find answers to problems. Buddhism in India. After gaining the understanding of human suffering that he looked for, Buddha spent the rest of his life teaching. Followers flocked to hear his sermons. Rulers and ordinary people gathered around him. After his death, his teaching spread all over India. For many years, Buddhism and Hinduism existed side by side in India. The golden age of Buddhism in India came during the rule of Ashoka, one of India's greatest rulers. We'll learn about him in lesson 4.4. However, Buddha's teachings didn't last in the land of his birth. Over time, Buddhism died out almost completely in India. At the same time, Hinduism absorbed many Buddhist ideas. Hindus came to believe in the teachings of Buddha. They accepted the idea that it's wrong to harm other living creatures. They accepted nonviolence. Many Hindus came to honor Buddha as a reincarnation of the god Vishnu. For many centuries, Hindus just could not accept Buddha's ideas of social equality. Here's a picture of Buddha. It says, sculptures of Buddha often show him in one of three ways. He's either meditating under the fig tree, teaching standing up, or lying down. These poses are linked to his life, enlightenment, teaching, and reaching nirvana. So Buddhism didn't spread in India, but it does spread to other countries. It doesn't stay in India, I should say. Buddhism, however, was accepted by millions of people in other lands. Missionaries carried Buddhist message throughout Asia. It took root in China and grew there. Millions of Chinese became Buddhists. They mixed the ideas of Buddha with those of their earlier teachers. Buddhist monasteries became centers of religious thought in China. From China, Buddhism spread to the Koreas and Japan. Today, Buddhism is part of the cultures of such countries as Japan, the Koreas, China, Tibet, and Vietnam. There is a map of the spread. Kind of see different routes it took. All right, it's time to take notes.